What up, draft nerds? Welcome in. Today we are talking about 5 underrated prospects, in my opinion, and these are not like day 3 or undrafted free agent type guys that I think should be considered higher. I'm talking about prospects for the 2025 NFL draft that are outside of the top 32 on the consensus board that, in my opinion, should be locks for the first round. So we're going to dive into it here. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. I got to kick this thing off with Aeris Thomas, cornerback out of Florida State. And yes, I did attend Florida State for a little while, but no, that's not impacting my judgment here. He is 71 on the consensus big board. He's 6'2", 198 pounds. He has incredible length at the cornerback position. Press technique is excellent. Like, receivers have a really difficult time getting off the line of scrimmage against this guy. And then when they do, he has the movement skills, both in terms of like quick feet, loose hips, and I think enough long speed with his length to be disruptive throughout routes and at the catch point. He will fly downhill. He's only 20 years old, and you've seen him go against some really good competition, and defenses or offenses this year just aren't targeting him very often. I think the most he's given up in a game is 30 yards receiving. He's not targeted all that often, and for good reason. You turn on the tape and he's like glue. And again, he disrupts at the very beginning of routes that makes it really difficult for receivers to get in rhythm, makes it difficult for quarterbacks and the timing of the offense. So I think Aeris Thomas is going to be a number 1 corner in the NFL. Not only do I think he should be a top 32 pick, like someone who goes in the first round, I actually have a legitimate round 1 grade on him, which right now I've only got like 15 of those in this class. A little light for me in terms of the first round grades. So I think Aeris Thomas, whether you are a press man heavy team or cover 3 heavy team, I don't think it really matters. I think Aeris Thomas can do it. And there's a lot of teams out there that still run a ton of cover 3. It's still the most common coverage in the NFL. If you run cover 3 and want to get him up on the line as well and run some press man in certain situations, third down. Yeah, I mean, Aeris Thomas, I don't see many. I mean, you could sit here and say maybe he doesn't have elite long speed. But again, I think he has the fluidity and the length combined with his speed and explosiveness to not really have many issues there, and so confident at the line of scrimmage. I think he will be overall a plus against the run as well. He's not the most consistent tackler, but he's aggressive coming downhill, which I think that you will take any day of the week with his skill set. So Aeris Thomas at 71, that's crazy to me. Should be a top 20 pick easily. 46 on the consensus big board. Princely Umanmielen, the edge out of Ole Miss by way of Florida. I don't have a true first round grade on him yet. I might get there. I do think that he should easily go within the top 25 picks, though. He's 6'4" and 255 pounds. He has every pass rush move in the book. He has great length and bend, flexibility. He's explosive off the line. He also has an inside spin counter that he can get you with that's devastating. Has the strength and instincts to play against the run as well. He's really come into his own at Ole Miss, and he's not the only Ole Miss defensive lineman that we're going to talk about here. But I think whether you're using him as kind of a weak side 4-3 defensive end or a 3-4 outside linebacker, I don't think it really matters. Princely Umanmielen is going to get the job done for you. There were some questions about his maturity at Florida. To me, the way he's played the last couple years, as long as and teams are going to do so much work on the people, the mental side of it, right? The maturity level, all that stuff. But purely from the tape, Princely Umanmielen probably closer to a top 20 prospect in this class than top 32, in my opinion. Like, he's got it all from a physical standpoint. Really impressive season at Ole Miss. That front is absolutely dominating the SEC, and it's really fun to watch for the Ole Miss Rebels. 46 on the consensus board. Again, for me, where is he officially on my board right now? He's sitting right around 20. So a guy that I think should be viewed much higher from a consensus standpoint. And then the next guy we've got on our list here, he is 36 on the big board. I think he's going to continue to rise. It's tight end Tyler Warren, 6'6", 260-pound, absolute beast out of Penn State, and you can put him anywhere on the field. You can line him up out wide, slot, inline, backfield, wildcat quarterback. Doesn't matter. Put him anywhere. Use him as an offensive engine. Just a freight train with the ball in his hands with surprising fluidity and slipperiness at his size. He's explosive. He's a great route runner, again, at his size. I mean, no one's going to confuse him with like Brock Bowers as a route runner, right? Because, there's like 30 pounds difference there, but 25 pounds difference. But great hands, contested catch point, ball skills, clutch. I think Tyler Warren should easily be a top 15 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Absolute stud. 40 on the big board. This is JT Tuimoloau. And this is a player who, I've kind of gone back and forth on. The bottom line is you want to see more of a pass rush plan and better execution with the moves he's trying to execute, better timing. But look, JT Tuimoloau out of Ohio State, 6'5" and 269 pounds. He's part of this group of guys that went back to Ohio State, huge group of prospects for the 2024 class that went back to Ohio State to try to win a championship. And I really respect them for doing that because they all could have been fairly high draft picks. I think JT Tuimoloau has improved in this year, and he's still only 21 years old, going to be a young prospect. He's a 4-3 base defensive end, elite run defender. He has absolutely developed into an elite run defender and a smart football player. He gets his hands up to disrupt throwing lanes. He stops screens. He stops scrambles, quarterback scrambles. He's a great tackler. So he's doing all those utility things that don't really pop out in terms of like, the crazy number of pressures or sacks, right? But he's explosive with great length and strength. He's not as twitched up or bendy as a lot of the guys you see. And he, again, does need to develop more of that pass rush plan. But there's flashes and examples of, I think if you just use that bull rush, long arm, and then you counter at times with an inside spin, and you just try to hit what works for you a little bit more often instead of trying to bend around the outside arc, and that might be coaching, right? I think if he gets with a good coach who knows how to get him going, it's going to be play the hits, right? Play the hits. Do what you do well and continue to develop off of that instead of trying to have this massive bag of pass rush moves. You don't need that with your size and power profile and length and explosiveness. I think that he could be a much better pass rusher at the NFL level. And the bottom line for me is you're drafting him in the top 32 here. I don't have a true first round grade on him, but he should be drafted in the top 32 based on the fact that he's going to immediately upgrade your physicality, your strength, your length, your run defense. He's going to make all the plays that are kind of the dirty work plays for you. He's going to be a glue player, and there's more upside than that. A lot more upside than that. And a lot of times he comes up big in big moments. He does. So I think that JT Tuimoloau should absolutely be a top 32 pick in this 2025 NFL draft. Now, the next couple guys we're going to talk about, two interior defensive linemen who I have legitimate first-round grades on. I think they should both be top 15 picks. They're not the same type of player, but Tyleik Williams is 32 on the big board and Walter Nolan is 28. And the reason I'm calling them underrated, they don't really fit that criteria of falling outside of the top 32 on the consensus big board. But 32 and 28, that's more like fringe first round material. I think they should both be top half of the first round. I think they're that good. Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State, 6'3", 327 pounds. His explosiveness at his size and flexibility at his size is pretty incredible. And when you pop on the tape, you just immediately see him winning at the line of scrimmage. Whether it's with being able to utilize his naturally low pad level, which at times he does pop up, worked. You want to continue to improve. But he also at times shows you that incredible flexibility to just get lower than his opponent and blow them off the ball. He also, in my opinion, does a tremendous job using his hands, his timing and placement with his hands to disengage from offensive guards consistently. They generally have no chance. He's displaced his man, and now he's in position to try to create disruption. And I think that's excellent. Really good athlete at almost 330 pounds. I think that whether you're playing him at nose tech, you're moving him around the defensive front, again, has rare flexibility at his size. This is going to be a versatile weapon you want to have on the field as much as possible. All 3 downs, I think, can contribute as an interior disruptor. Right, like if you've got these edges that need a little bit of help creating some juice on the interior, Tyreek Williams can do that for you. But he's also going to be super stout against the run, and I think he sees the game well. He's continued to develop during his time at Ohio State, and so big fan. And then Walter Nolan, Ole Miss. This guy was the #1 overall recruit in his recruiting class 3 years ago. He is 6'3", he is 305 pounds, and he's shot out of a cannon at the snap. Has great length. I think he has good strength, explosiveness. Somebody who uses his hands extremely well now at Ole Miss after transferring there from Texas A&M, and is consistently causing disruption in the backfield. Is he going to be a dominant run defender? No, but he's a 3-tech, right? Like he's not a nose, he's not a 1. He's a 3-tech that can be a dominant 3-tech in the NFL. Has a chance to be a Pro Bowl type of guy there with his pass rush skill set and disruption against the run as well. I mean, I mentioned Williams consistently winning at the line of scrimmage. Nolan does the same thing. Gets past his man with ease, and they don't do it the same way, right? Nolan is more about explosiveness and the hand moves, swims, chops, but he gets it done at an extremely high level. And so I think these two should be viewed as locks for the first round, as, early to mid first round picks in this draft class. They have first round grades for me. Walter Nolan a little bit higher than Tyreek Williams. And that's, that carries the test of time. That's not just this year, right? They have legitimate first round grades for me. And I think they should be top 15 in this class. So that'll do it for this. Just want to talk about some of the guys I'm a big fan of in this 2025 draft class that I think consensus is a little bit too low on. So let me know who you think is underrated in this 2025 NFL draft in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.